Hello everybody. In this video I will talk about Python program to access MySQL database. To access MySQL database using the Python code, we have to install driver for MySQL. Okay, so this is the command. We will be using the MySQL connector for Python. Okay, python -m pip install mysql -connector -python. This is the name of the driver, and this is the command we have to use to install mysql -connector.python to work with MySQL database using Python code. Now let's write the code to check whether this driver is working or not. Import mysql.connector. Okay, now let's write this. We are importing the package mysql.connector. Okay, now let's execute this. Now everything is okay. I am not having any error. So now after this we have to make connection with the database. mysql.connector.connect. This is the method we have to write. Then within this method we will be passing the arguments like the host is equal to localhost in this case, then user is equal to root, then password, nothing, empty password. Okay, now let's save this. Now let's check this if it is working or not. Run module. Okay, it is perfect. In MySQL database I have already created test database, and within the test database I have customer table. I have contact info register, but I am working with the customer table now. So this customer table is having CID, name, address, age, gender, hobby. Now I will write code in Python to retrieve these records. Okay, now let's go back to this Python code. Okay, now I have to specify the database here. Okay, is equal to test. Okay, then I have to write, okay, accessor, some variable. Accessor is equal to db.cursor. I have to create object of cursor. Okay, so db accessor is the cursor. Then what I have to do, accessor dot execute SQL, select CID, CNAME, address, age, gender, hobby from customer. Okay, simple. Now this will be executed. Then what result is equal to accessor dot fetch all. Okay, then for row in result print row. Okay, let's talk about this. First I have to create the object of cursor to access the database table. Here I am using the DB, that is the connection object to the database. This initial block of code, this code will make a connection with the test database and reference will be saved to DB. And using the DB I am creating the cursor object, and this accessor is assigned the cursor object. Using this cursor object I can execute the SQL statements. Now you can see in the execute method I have passed this select statement which will access attributes of the customer table. Then that after executing this SQL using the execute method accessor, I can access the records stored within this accessor using fetch all, and the result I have stored within the result object. Accessor.fetchAll will return the records that been retrieved from the table, and that retrieved table is stored, I have stored within the result. Now using the for loop I can access each record of this result. Okay, now this result will be accessed one by one. How many records are there? That many times that for loop will iterate. Now let's execute this. Let's save this first. File, save. Now let's execute. Now we can see the records here. Now records, all the records of this table been retrieved. Okay.